In our ongoing series of stories we call Let's Talk About It, our goal is to destigmatize mental health issues and to normalize conversation about them. And that's exactly what Maine-based psychiatrist Dr. Ann Hallward is doing as the host of the podcast Safe Space Radio.
The podcast covers difficult topics like navigating the loss of a loved one and escaping domestic violence. News Center Maine's Sean Stackhouse joins us now to explain how this podcast is changing lives and really how easy it is for you to find. Sean?
Pat and Amanda, and for those of you watching at home right now, there is a QR code in the lower right corner of your screen. If you open up your smartphone camera and point and take a picture at that QR code, it will take you to Safe Space Radio. That's where Dr. Hallward is becoming a reassuring voice heard across the country, helping people dealing with all kinds of mental health challenges. And now anyone can hear her voice and listen to her advice. It's as easy as looking at a restaurant menu.
Coming up in a moment is Safe Space Radio.
For more than 300 episodes, Dr. Ann Hallward has been sharing the hard conversations, breaking down what she calls the 3 S's: shame, stigma, and silence.
So I thought, we need a public health intervention to address the problem of shame. What is it going to be? And then as I reflected on the way people cover their eyes, I thought, radio. Radio is the perfect thing. So they can listen to shows about very intimate subjects without worrying that other people will know about it as they first begin to have the courage to explore highly stigmatized subjects.
Since she started Safe Space Radio, it's grown from a small show on WMPG in Portland to having specials played across the country, even giving a TED Talk. The point of every word she speaks is to give hope.
I've even received emails from people saying, thank you, this gave me a reason to keep going. What were you finding out about that?
When the pandemic changed the world, it changed Safe Space Radio too. But one thing the pandemic brought, Hallward latched onto.
So we thought, everyone knows about QR codes now.
Used to access menus at restaurants, Hallward catered a QR code for her use. Users simply snap a picture of the code on these table tents, and it directs you to a playlist of her library of mental health conversations.
The pandemic has been so difficult for so many people because people feel so isolated. So this was one way to help people hear the voice of someone else who has the same struggle as they do.
When I learned about that project, I thought that our library would be a great spot for a table tent.
An idea initially intended for doctors' offices and therapists' waiting rooms grew quickly. Volunteers like Lucy Norville at Scarborough Public Library bringing table tents there and encouraging other libraries across Maine to do the same.
They are deeply meaningful, particularly when you listen to them at a relevant time.
The table tents began moving into small businesses too. Coffee by Design putting the signage in their shops across southern Maine.
So here was a brilliant way of no barrier. Someone can actually come, sit, have a cup of coffee, see the signage, click the QR code, and actually listen to which podcast may speak to something they themselves are struggling with.
Making mental health care a normal conversation, helping us all get past the shame, stigma, and silence, and starting the journey that could change someone's life.
This was one way that we thought we could help. It's not as good as therapy, I'm not going to pretend, but hearing other people who get you, who are like you, and who found ways that help them is a tremendous beginning, and it can make all the difference.
And Dr. Hallward tells me that the Countway Library at Harvard Medical School will now permanently house the archive of all of the Safe Space Radio shows. Pat and Amanda.